Okay, now for the fun part, actually getting your characters out of City of Heroes. At this point, if you've been following along through all of the tutorials, we should have downloaded a clean copy of City of Heroes if you needed it. We should have configured icon and Paragon chat. Actually, I didn't go over the Paragon chat, but I did make an icon for it. It's pretty easy. Just make an icon for Paragon chat out of your directory, stick it on the desktop so it's there, and you should be fine. We've downloaded and installed GL Intercept. We've downloaded and installed Oogle. Everything should be configured. You should have, at this point, grabbed the configuration file from the YouTube link of the previous video for Oogle, because that's the one that seems to work the best. And that brings us to where we are now, which is grabbing our characters out of City of Heroes and then importing them into Blender. So there's going to be a lot to cover here. This is going to be several parts to the next few videos. I will cover actually grabbing the assets and then showing you how they end up in Blender. I'm going to do the characters first. There'll be another video showing you how to do the buildings. Then I will show you how to reassemble characters, and pretty much at that point it will be a matter of the Blender aspect of everything, which if you are not familiar with Blender and you have your own 3D package, then you will probably know how to go from there. For people who don't know Blender, this will help show you what it can do. And if you are a Blender user, then you should be very comfortable watching those videos. But anyways, let's get on to the character creation or character extraction, let's say. I am signed in with Paragon Chat at the moment. And the reason is because it gives us the server that we can log into, and it gives me a character list. So I've already got all these characters that I've already made. And let's say I want to extract Chrome, who is standing right there in front of us. All I would need to do is the magic shortcut key to extract him is going to be Control-Shift-F. You will see him stop moving for a second, then he starts moving again. While the game stops moving, that means that it is working on grabbing whatever is in the OpenGL render view and creating an OBJ file from it. So be patient. It doesn't mean it's locked up. When you get into the game and you're grabbing stuff out of actual maps, it can take a significant amount of time. Just be patient. Once it starts moving again, you're ready to go on to the next step, which will be we're going to go open up the City of Heroes trash copy is what I'm working in. By pressing Control-Shift-F, it created this oogle.obj file. Every time you press Control-Shift-F, it's going to overwrite that file. So what is kind of a pain is you need to come out of City of Heroes, and what I like to do is I will copy this file, and then I will put it into another folder. I have a folder called My OBJ Files. I will paste it here, and then I'm going to rename it to something more useful, such as we'll say tutorial 2. As you can see, I've done this once before. It wasn't working out so well, so I'm redoing this tutorial. So now you've got this tutorial 2 OBJ file in this folder. So what we're going to do is go into Blender, and I'm going to go to another layer that doesn't have the camera and the lamp on it. We're going to go to Import, and we're going to go to Wavefront OBJ, and we're going to find the directory that it's in. So it's in the My OBJ Files directory, and this tutorial2.obj. Import, and there you are. You have your character and this really annoying screen, which is everything else that is being displayed for you. As a side effect as well, you also have the character disassembled. Every single piece of the character has got their origin set to 0, 0, 0. So this will be something for another tutorial as far as putting these all together, but just to show you, you get some hands, you get his pants, you get, he has boots, so he has 2 boots. If he was bare feet, he'd get 2 bare feet. Whatever it is for that, you get 2 of them. You got his pants, you got that. His shirt, his whatever this thing is, I don't know. He gets a head, and he gets a beard, and he gets a baseball cap. So that's him all not put together. This goes here somewhere. I'm not really sure what its purpose is, but what I'm going to do is just real quickly, I'm going to pull these parts back together. In fact, I'm just going to show you. So that shows you that he's there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a new file. I'm going to re-import him again. Import obj file, and it's this tutorial 2.1. Okay, import. So that I showed you that he's there. He is all there, even though he's disassembled. And then you have this annoying big thing in the background. And if you think this is bad, you don't even know. When you start capturing stuff out of the city, it gets to be really annoying. But what we're going to do is I'm going to box him, and I'll make sure nothing over there is selected, and then I'm going to move him to another layer. So now I can select all, delete it, and it's all gone. He's here. I'm going to move him back to the main layer, and now he's here, and there will be a light and a camera for later. I'm going to go ahead and save this as let's see, going here, going into the CoX to Blender. I'm going to name this one Chrome tutorial. So he's there, and then later on in another tutorial, I will show you how to basically put him back together. What you need to do with the geometry to fix it, because there is going to be a lot of duplicated vertices, and basically how to clean it up so that it's going to be usable for something else. So now, but with that said, to show you the beauty of being in the costume creator screen is we did him, but now let's say I've gone through all that and I have another character I want to take Godzilla out, who is a lizard and not a person. Again, I'm going to Control Shift F. He stops moving, and so he's done. I'll go back into Blender. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to go over to here. I am going to go to the trash copy. I'm going to find oogle.obj. I'm going to copy it. Going to my obj files, I'm going to paste it. And I'm going to rename that to God Lizard. And then I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to go into here, import wavefront obj, go to my obj files. Here's God Lizard. I'm going to import him. And as you can see, you get his tail. Everything is there. There's his head. It is God Lizard. That's him. So I'm going to box everything there. Make sure none of that's selected. Move him to another layer. Select all. Whoops. I accidentally changed that. I'm going to go back to solid. Well, that's neither here nor there. As long as it's all selected, X, delete. And now I don't want him in wireframe. Here, we'll do that. I'm going to go ahead and move him back to the main layer. And there he is. And then I'm going to go ahead and save this as, God Lizard .blend. And again, another tutorial will be based on putting these guys back together And that is how you grab your characters. That is the most efficient way to do it. Another great thing about this, and I don't know why my screen is freaking out, if you guys can see that or not, it's probably because there's so much going on and doesn't know what to do with itself. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go find Bear Pounder right here. Actually, I'm going to make a new character because one of the drawbacks of Paragon Chat is once you've made the character, you can't go see the powers again because powers don't work. So the only way to see them is to make a new one. So I'm going to say test subject, and I'm going to make a character just for the hell of it. He's going to have stone armor because that's what we're going to demonstrate there, and then he can have super strength, so he can be like Bear Pounder, looking big, and we will grab load the costume of Bear Pounder. Well, let's load the costume of somebody else. Let's load. How about if we load? We'll just load Chrome again. Why not? Okay, so we have Chrome here. I'm not going to change anything as far as his costume goes. I'm going to go next. Now this is where it gets interesting. We know how to get him, but let's say you have a power set that has extra stuff to it, such as Stone Armor has this granite armor thing. And let's say you want to be able to show him in his granite armor. Well, you do the same thing. You wait until his granite armor is showing, press Control-Shift-F, and then you can go back into your folder, City of Heroes trash copy. We're going to grab the oogle.obj. We're going to copy to my OBJs. I'm going to paste, and I'm going to rename this to tutorial 3. And then we'll go into here. We're going to make a new file. And we're going to go to another layer. We will go into here, import OBJ from my OBJ files, tutorial 3, import. And there you have the granite armor version of him, which again will require assembly. So I think you guys get the idea now. Basically the same routine as before. Select all that, make sure nothing over there is selected, move to another layer, select all that, delete it, and then you can go back to here, move him to the top layer, and go back to the top layer. And since I've gone through this much already, I might as well just go ahead and do it here and save as granite armor. Save as Blender file. And that's how you get your characters. So you can get your characters if they have special equipment in their powers, such as shields or axes or rock armor or whatever else there is. I'm not sure what all the power sets have. Most of them seem to be animations. A side note on that, if you have animations such as, auras or little sparkly things, you'll want to make sure that stuff is turned off before you try to export the character. Otherwise, you will get millions of little tiny planes that are used to show those effects surrounding your character, and it will be a nightmare to try to sort out. So if you have those, you'll want to make sure that stuff is turned off first, and then you can go ahead and export it, and then go ahead and turn it back on if you want to. So that's it for this video. The next video, we will go in through Icon, and we are going to grab some buildings out of a tech base. So I will see you then.